Hey everybody, welcome back. Northern Lion plays chess. Let's just get that was fast. Okay, G Juven 7 from Turkey. All right, you ready for this? I've been playing a little E5 lately. They respond with the Sicilian defense. I was told by somebody in chat, never play bishop to C4 in the Sicilian defense. Something I did not know in advance. How about that? Are we going to castle queenside? I mean, you should not be taking this much time on move 2, right? But I was like, are we going to castle queenside? Check this out. You never play bishop to c4, but you can play bishop to b5. And then let's see, like if they want to play this, that's fine. I would trade the bishop. Okay, I have no idea. This is the Nyezhmedinov Rosolimo attack. Presently, as of this point, had been unfamiliar with this. I think the next step is we try to maybe get. I was just gonna say they're gonna play e6, but we might consider something like knight to d5 would start to blow them out. Presumably, I mean, I don't think they're gonna want to develop their bishop to here. That just seems a little foolhardy to me. I think we respond with a little d6 of our own, trying not to find myself too far back on time. Honestly, I think you just take the trade. I know it might seem a little busted because we're losing a bishop, but I don't really want to, I mean, just destroy our center and get sucked back here. So let's force them to make a decision. You know, that is not what I expected. But there is possibly, some goodness resulting from that. Something that I kind of like here is like if in the future, I mean, they didn't want me to play that, which is fair. We want to play something like, bishop to f4. Presumably they're going to play like that next. I mean, if they play this, we play, and again, time's going to be an issue here. They play knight to f6. We play e6, which is actually e5. They reply with like this. I don't know, man. That's getting like mighty messy for them. We might have a problem keeping that pawn alive, but for now, they're gonna castle kingside. So I feel like we play something like bishop to e3, put some pressure on this. This is a little foolhardy on my behalf. We have to respond to this, otherwise we just get forked via d4. Well, I think we do not mind losing our e-pawn. Like, they're moving so fast, man. Now, they got a nice little pawn structure here. I was a little surprised, but they did manage to work their way out of it pretty quickly. I don't mind knight to e2, which allows us to play this later. Now they can play bishop to d6, and they've got a pretty good position. Do I even care about playing this right now? I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. I'm a little worried. Here's the thing. If we castle queenside and then do a pawn push, I think I kind of like fetishize that attack too much. Doesn't really end up working for us in a lot of circumstances. Do I like this? No, because that's where they're going to play it anyway. If we do this again, trust me, I recognize the time crunch. Don't get me wrong. We want to keep pressure up. How does one keep pressure up? I actually feel like this is a bit of a spicy move for us, but that we've given them free tempo. Okay. We're going to play queen up to open up the possibility of castling queenside. Had a feeling this was coming. I think to reply to this, we just hit him with this. And honestly, like, where you castling? Now, they're going for something. This is a bit of a spicy play, I think is fair to say. Now, they're crushing us on time. What else is new? I say to you, what else is new? Little piece of me likes this. Just got to figure out how the heck we're going to defend against the pawn storm. I don't know. Honestly, now I'm like, dude, we can castle kingside. We got to be careful about this. No, I think we do castle queenside. I do want to push this, though. Maybe I push that first. I am a little worried about something like that, obviously. Okay, I'm gonna be a coward. We're gonna castle kingside. I imagine they'll probably play bishop to b7. No, oh my God, they've bung clouded. They've done the classic bung cloud. Okay, then we play this. They probably push. Doesn't bother me. Well, I'll tell you, no matter what, I like this. And then following that, I am a little concerned about this diagonal opening up with this. But I think I love this move right here. You play this forward. We got a nice check that allows us to get pressure on this pawn. The diagonals on the bishops are very strong here. The fact that they have a bishop pair is obviously like not great. to put it in like the understatement of a century is not great. But you know, we got positives. This bishop is doing, I just got to be honest. I mean, like here's, okay, so now you're like, you got the play that you wanted. You know, check, and then you're like, you got the knight play here, but then if this pawn moves forward, they have like mate in one here. And they've got like a really strong series of diagonals here. It is kind of hard for me to say no to this though, because if I play this, I don't know. Maybe there's positives, maybe there's negatives. There is a piece of me that's like, okay, we got to do something. I think you can do it fast. I think you take the pawn. In exchange for the open file. And then, of course, this is their mate in one attempt, which we accept as gospel. I'm like, what if we start working them down, man? What if we do something like this? And then if you want to take the queen, go ahead and take the queen. No, that's horrible, because we lose a knight in the process. This was not a wise... No, because we put them in check. Okay. Hold on. Put them in check here. We wouldn't have lost the knight in the process because there would have been a check in this. Okay. So obviously we got some problems. This needs to be covered because it's about to be lost. But obviously, like, you're like... We could get mated in one here. I think we lose the knight or we get mated in one, which is an indication that maybe this was not the best idea. Let me explain myself. We go here, check. We pretty much have to take. Then they take with the queen, mate in one. So I guess we don't have to take. Check. Then they like move wherever they please, and we get discovered checked. Then we move back, and you know, you get the idea. So how does one get out of this mate in one without losing the knight? I don't think one does. I think we sack the knight to present a more, well, to not mathematically get eliminated is probably the best way to think about it. We're getting blown out here, for sure. And it's embarrassing because we've used 5 minutes more time. It is the first game of the day. It happens from time to time. So for sure, that sucks. I think we should start to emphasize some stuff like these open files in here. We could do this. You know, you lose a pawn, but you do gain this. But I'm not actually sure that... And we don't really want the queen to be there, ideally. Well, we have to go faster. So let's start with something like this. This looks horrible. I'd imagine, like, in the engine, we're probably down by, like, more than I'd like to admit. There's some things that I don't hate about this, though. Now, this would be like a 2-minute think and come up with an amazing move. This is looking really bad. So what's my game plan? We basically have to... Things look bad, for sure. I think we try to start pilfering some pieces off of the enemy here. We can put a lot of emphasis on this pawn. Okay, so here's what I'm not like too against. Check. This is, and we're going to use so much of our time. Check. You have to go. You pretty much have to go here. We have forked your queen, but we would lose our queen in the process. Is that good enough? It might be, we're down by 2 material. I think no matter what, you do that. And then you respond with something with your queen later. Now, if they go here, which is what I expect. If they go here, I think we just go check. And then we still get the queen. Okay, so yeah, they made the right decision. Man, I wish this wasn't so bad. You gotta do it. Because, like, we set it up, man. And then we do get to take the bishop. So they're up by 1 material. Oh yeah, don't do that. So we're tied on material. But I got 1:46 left on the clock, which is pretty bad. But I'm surprised. After essentially losing a knight, we got ourselves out of it. Obviously, this is spicy, right? Because if we take them, how are we going to stop mate in 1? Just think about it. Take. How do we stop mate in 1? This. I think we can do it. I mathematically think we can do it. I think we could also just do this. Buys us a little bit of time. And again, that's kind of important right now. Now, I think he should go back here. That still threatens the mate in 1. This does not really threaten mate in 1. Now, we do this, and if they put us in check here, we fall back to this spot, and the mate is busted. The mate is now busted. Okay. So there's, again, let's not call it a high percentage chance, but there's a chance here. We are up 1 on material, which is stunning to me. Should not have happened, but did. We don't have time to think about any of our moves. Yet here we are. I would not be surprised if well, the engine doesn't give a crap about time, right? I would not be surprised if the engine says, like, you're doing great, sweetie, keep it up. So, hold on. I'm going to operate on the assumption that we're not dead to checkmate. I may be mistaken. But again, time is of the essence. How do we block this? It's not easy. Okay, again, time is of the essence. Can we force like a trade? 38 seconds? That's so little time, dude. But especially for a game that's even on material. So this is a failure from time control standards, okay? And by the way, get ready, because the lower your time gets, the lower your accuracy is going to get. What if he does the obvious? Good question. I think we play a pawn, like, immediately. If he plays this, we just take that, and then we fall back here. Okay, well, we take. Possibly with the other rook would have been smarter. Possibly / definitely with the other rook would have been smarter. Yeah, I think we maybe just lost the game. But we can, I think we can get like some kind of, either force his king to block the open file, or alternatively, like get him in a consecutive checkmate. And now we're actually like kind of free. And I'm like, what if we did this, man? What if we just took that pawn now? He can move his king over here, in which case, you know, we're going to get on the run. Don't get me wrong. Put me in check again. And call me son one more time. Okay, you can't put me in check anymore. We have a strictly superior position, but we'll probably lose on time. which is okay. I'm kind of proud of the way we handled this. Obviously, it would have been better to have not been so low on time. Let's just reveal the obvious. He can't put me in check. He can't take this pawn. That is what we were looking for, is something like that. But now we're going to try to get him in a little scissor mate. Okay, that's spicy. Fair enough. That's spicy. I don't want to be placed in check myself. This is so bad for him, which is so upsetting for me. Where are you going? Where are you going? I think that was terrible. He's going to put us in check. This is so stupid. How do we get here? You know that's coming. What's he doing? I don't know. What am I doing? Hadn't really thought about it. Ladder him in the other direction. It's like the one place you're not supposed to put it. Yeah, we're going to lose on time. And that's fine. I resign. I mean, we had 0.1 seconds. We should have won that game at the end. And the blunders, I mean, we made like all of our moves once we had fallen behind on time. The game is, the analysis is not going to be instructive to figure out how to win that end game. We win that end game if we have clock. Like, we were up by 10, you know? And most of our bad plays, I think, are going to come close to the end. But it'll be instructive to figure out how we fell so far behind in the early game. Like, let's see what happened here. This is normal. Totally, it's book. They love our position here, which is fine. They're like, that's okay. You should have castled earlier. Okay. They want you to make the trade faster. Okay, we've done it. And the trade they liked. They liked the trade. They're like, that's fine. They do like this move. They don't like the trade. Okay, why? Is this where it unraveled? We play this. What happens? What's the threat? The threat is... we have access to this. They probably... I mean, I would think that they would respond with d4. No, they like knight to f6 instead. Okay. Which is understandable, because like this remains unresolved. Sure, we get a pawn there, but they can now take this pawn. I would think, again, they might like the exchange here. E takes d5. They absolutely do not like it, for the record. They prefer a castle. Okay. At which point, one would presume they would play either bishop to b7 or maybe bishop to... well, no, they're not going to play bishop to d6 because we would fork them with the pawn. They might play bishop to e7. Let's see what they think. Okay, so they actually roll a defense of this pawn. At which point, I have to imagine we make some kind of like giga-brain move. Either like... you know, some kind of pawn move I'm not looking at, or maybe just moving our queen up one to join our rooks. Yeah, that's the Giga Brain pawn move. Well, that's fun, but that's not the way it did go down. Instead, they don't like the exchange. They think the exchange benefits black, and I can understand why. Their pawn structure is awesome. They thought knight to e2 was pretty good, which is exciting for me because it's kind of a jank move. Queen to d2, I'll admit, I didn't have much going for me in this move. They do prefer this. What I was worried about is if we did this, they would just reply with like this, bishop to d6. They like queen to b6 more. And that's the other thing. I was like, okay, so now that I've done that, they're going to, you know, get access to this over here. But I don't think I really mind if they start taking these pawns. Like, I know we could play rook to b1, which is excellent. But yeah, I thought maybe there was a move that was more like superior. c4 scares the crap out of me. I guess we don't mind, you know, queen to b7, or sorry, queen to b4, because we just play our bishop back. Is that correct? Yeah, there's more or less. I mean, it's an even position, but anyway, that's not the way it went down. They hated that move, and I agree. So I loved our position here, even though we are down. And our exchange, how did they like them? Yeah, they thought it was okay. Now, good move. They think we're ahead. They're like, don't do that. They actually prefer, hold on, they prefer this. Very interesting. I wonder why. That follows up, like e4 follows up maybe? Doesn't seem so. Rook A to G8. Okay, so they just begin an attack. And then, I mean, like, from this point onwards, you can see in the report, like, we're probably right around, like, we're here, roughly. This is where things were really bad. We were down by 6. But, like, we pulled it back right here. Like, when we got out of that maiden one, that's the thing, man. Like, anyway, we should just start a new game here because this is going on a little long. But when you launch an attack, if the attack fizzles, even if you're up on material, it can be a very scary situation. So we'll play the Caro-Kann here. I will say my opponent replied to me with easy XD, and then a big smiley face. So I'm gonna just scroll up and say, were they a good sport? And I hit him with the thumbs down. I hit him with the thumbs down on that. If you have a problem with that, I am here to tell you. Easy XD with a big smiley face. That's not being a good sport. That's called being a bad sport. I don't mind my bishop being here unless I'm about to be trapped. I feel like they spent 20 moves trying to get their knight to the position they got it to, and I'm not really convinced that it's any good for them. So this is the Caro-Kann defense advanced. Of course, as you know from my earlier emails, this is the Bronstein variation. Believe we'll just develop our knight to get extra pressure here. You expect to see maybe like a bishop to e3. Oh, okay. So this is, I wouldn't say I'm concerned, but you do think about, okay, like, do we mind if they take this? There are some things about it I would say that I mind. But I'm also like, hold up. What if I just take this right here? You have to put yourself in a position. Like, you could take this if you want, and then I get your business for free. Although I do work. So here's what I'm worried about, okay? Take. Okay, but we take, they take. Check. Dunk. Then take. Or something like this. I don't know. Maybe they stop me from castling. Do I care? I don't think I care. This is the definition of getting weird with it. The other thing we could do is, yeah, this, I mean, understandable. We could still just move our knight back. It gives up the fork, but they have it covered, and I don't want to just give up the pawn for nothing, you know? Now we have this pawn. Well, no, we can't, because, I mean, this has got to be like a positive for me, and therefore the world. So they might castle. We got to resolve this situation. The next step is resolving. This is a thinking man's move for sure. I mean, you could always just play castle back. And if you want to take this, I don't like it for the record, but all this just to get like a pawn or like to stop me from castling? Like, it seems so, is so extra, man. Like, if you want to trade both of your bishops for knights, am I upset by this? I honestly, like, don't consider myself that upset by it, man. We could always play this. It does give up access to this pawn to some extent. We could always play that. We will lose this pawn. I think we play this first. Now, I hope I haven't given them the chance to spring their trap. I love that I have the bishop pairs. Okay, so, I mean, you do get to take that. Sure. But then, I was just going to say, then we immediately just take this. So I think we castle to resolve the pin, and we say goodbye to this pawn. Or we play this. There's one of two ways. We are worried about this, don't get me wrong. And again, time, apparently not my strong suit. You know what I actually like? Check this out, man. Bishop to g5. How do you stop it? You can't go here. We got you covered. You sack your rook. That's literally like the only way out of it. Then your king has to take. So that's, that's unexpectedly beautiful, for certain. That's just good observation right there. Now you don't want to take this because you worry about the pin on your king. So this game's looking pretty solid right now. I do, like, honestly, I don't really mind this because of the fact that, like, queenside castling, because of the fact that it creates a rook on this. So the other thing, though, actually, check this out. We could wait for him to take this, and then we could play this and pin the knight. But it does leave our king in kind of an unpleasant position. So I actually feel like instead, the play is kingside castle. Because we're in such an awesome position right now, don't let anything, you know, fall by the wayside. You know, like, we've already gotten weird with it. We really don't have any reason to extend the weirdness. This is an interesting idea. I think we definitely... I mean, they're just defending this pawn, I think. But we can still take. Like, I think we start by asking you to give up your bishop. And, I mean, if you'd like to give up your queen, don't let me stop you. They do not want to give up their queen. Which is hard to blame you. I would like it if you gave up your queen. But, you know, if we're ahead, we don't need to trade down, right? Like, why don't we start doing something like this? Now, I recognize this loses us the bishop. So we have to play h6 at some point. Or otherwise, like, escalate a danger level, for example. Like, I kind of love this. And if they want to take my bishop, they won't, for the record. But if they want, they could... I was just going to... Okay, yeah, this is fine. So now we do have access to this pawn, if we wanted, for example. This is a thinker, because I still think we're in a lovely position. Here's what about this, this? We take. One would assume they would probably follow with that, but if they don't, well, then we would just do that. But we take, and then maybe they're like, I got your bishop. And then we go, okay, I got your knight. And then they go, no, you don't. They take with the king. And then we go, all right, now we got your queen. Now I hope, again, I made a resolution that we were not going to get weird with it anymore. And that resolution has now fallen by the wayside. But this danger levels, man. It's danger, like Levy says, it's danger levels, bro. Okay, so they're gonna take and put me in check, which does concern me. We definitely start there. We're gonna take their queen next turn. I honestly, in my heart of hearts, we probably take, because they can't immediately put us in check. I do think we take. They can immediately put us in check. That's all right. We just go back. All right, everything's still fine. Probably better than fine. We wish to trade queens now to remove some of the danger from the equation. There's a lot of things we wish to do. Time is fine, by the way. You might say time's in like a problematic situation here. I disagree very much. Now, you do have a threat here. Let's block in that threat, literally the only move they can do is this. Then there is like a cheeky play if we want to sack a rook for a knight, which we do not want to do. We still have coverage here. If we move fast before they see it, we might be okay. I feel like let's put some pressure on this piece right here, on this pawn. Because if this pawn falls, we're in a great spot. Okay, so I don't really know what they're trying to get at here. I'm still not too frightened, I think. And again, time is tight. I hate this open file, but I mean, would you rather be me or be them right now? I would rather be me, but I guess it goes without saying. I'm going to go here. I don't think they have like a checkmate. Next thing I'm hoping they play like that. Then we can take, check, take, rook versus knight, multiple pawns, etc., etc. Certainly there's a piece of me here that's like, I think we got you, right? Like this is great. Then you're gonna like move up one. And then we do something like this. And we're just trying to work you out, you know? Maybe this isn't as good as I thought it was. Let me see if I can bully you a little. I wish to bully. 2 minutes on the clock. This is, it may not appear to be so, but it seems like a relatively simple situation. We only need one rook, by the way, for checkmate. And people will be like, you're never going to get it. I'm telling you, the one rook checkmate is like muscle memory ingrained in my brain. They will not want to trade. If they retreat... I mean... No, don't do that. Okay, now if you don't mind... Obviously, we don't want to just give them the rook on a fork or something like that, but... The only position that forks us is here, so they're forced to move the knight. The knight will have to move to a position that, I mean, I think they just lost their knight, yeah. So I don't know what they were thinking there. Maybe that they would get like a pawn out of, or maybe they thought they could, I don't know, man. But like, I thought we played a great game there, honestly. I thought their opening was super jank, so maybe we got a little lucky, but always happy to break even, especially after I feel like we kind of threw in that first one. We were down a little bit, but oh man, it got a lot better. One blunder you hate to see, but one mistake, 3 inaccuracies is not so bad. Let's step through this, okay? Normal game. Very normal game. This is the advanced variation of the Caro-Kann, I believe. Yeah, the Bronstein variation. Why do I like bishop to f5? Because it develops our bishop along the white diagonal before we play e6 and then c5, which is like it's the whole meat and potatoes of this opening, I think, from having played it a lot. All right, knight to e2. I'm a little surprised. You know, it is kind of a bad move because it blocks in your bishop and queen, and it takes 2 moves to develop to a position where you actually threaten... you know, the piece here. But we just move back one, and they think we're in an even game. Never going to be upset. You know, move 6, even game as black. Don't mind that at all. It got a little complicated. We chose to meet their complication with more compilation. They're like, what are you doing? That move is not good. They're like, please just take the pawn. And I'm like, no. They're like, what are you doing? Okay, then there we go. That's where we got a piece. They put us in check. We came back. They're like, don't come back. And I can understand why, by the way. Because what they want is like this. Probably, I'm going to assume that they take. Because then we are precluded from castling. And then they're going to do something to block this fork. But what can they do except this? Yeah. Like, why can't they play like this, for example? Well, because the bishop is covering that diagonal. Why can't they play this? Because the bishop's covering that diagonal. Why can't they play, you know, this? Because the pawn will just take them. So, yeah, okay, that would have been stronger. We got a little lucky there. How much did we give up? Well, we took the game back to even, basically. Okay. So they're like, okay, roughly even. Good move. Acceptable move. Good move. Best move. Very even game. And they're like, yeah. Why are you trading your bishops away, man? Why are you trading your bishops away? And look, I loved this move. They don't think this is the best move, but I loved this move because we get the free castle out of it. They prefer d4. Oh, dude, I didn't even see that d4 is covered by the queen. I totally would have been blown out. I would have taken them. Luckily, that didn't happen. Okay, so they do that. Honestly, they were moving too fast. I hate to say it because my problem is the opposite, but I really do feel like they were moving too fast. Now we're up by 3, but we're up by 7 on position. They're like, what are you doing? They're like, what are you doing? Why don't you just move your knight? There's no pin there anymore. Sure, fair enough. Okay. Anyway, for some reason, okay, well, I mean, I'll tell you why I like that. I just like to trade queens when we get into a superior position materially because it gives them less options to get out. All right, we're up by 5. They're like, good move. Great move. Okay, I was proud of this sequence here. They like rook a d8 check. Let's see how that would have gone. Look, I kind of get it. I do feel like g takes f7 was better than this, but the engine disagrees. I just feel like this is a better open file because, you know, their pawn is covering it here, so their rook can't get like the easy attack going, but maybe the engine is stronger than me. I don't know. Okay, so they put me in check. I take. They do like falling behind instead, which makes way more sense because I didn't see this check, which is just foolish because it's like a 200 level. We fell back. They take. Okay, it's good stuff. Great moves here. They wanted that move. I don't know why. Maybe I honestly just don't know why. All right, this was the best move, which is surprising to me because it's kind of positional. And then they like the check. They probably prefer you take the pawn just for material. Fair enough. They're like, good move. They thought that was acceptable. They thought that was the best move, which is sad because it destroys you. And at this point, it's over. Yeah. Anyway, dude, I thought we had some pretty good episodes there. Even with the GGEZ smiley face. There was a lot of fun to be had there. I mean, technically, I don't want to, like, we lost 1-1. We should have won the first game. The way the position looked, we just happened to run out of time because we spent 10 times longer than our opponent to get into that position. But for now, thanks for all your support on chess. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode so far. If you do, click the like button. It's the most successful series on my channel right now. If you had told me that chess would be the tentpole release of 2021, I would have said, I used to think you were crazy, but now I can see you're nuts. I'm also live on Twitch, twitch.tv/NorthernLion, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific, every day but Saturday. Give me a follow. I play chess all the time. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya!